Hello, good people of YouTube, Mountbatten here, and today we have a couple of devblogs to go over. What is really interesting is that these devblogs are normally released on Thursday, but for some reason they came out on Tuesday this week, and it's not unusual for that to happen, just doesn't happen very often. But anyway, we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go through each one, read straight from the devblog, and then I'll give you guys my opinion on each section afterwards. If you want to check out these dev blogs for yourself, and I do encourage you guys to do that, please follow the links in the description down below. Alright, so let's start off with the one that was posted first, which is some changes to quite a few test ships. So, ST.10.1 changes to test ships. We adjusted the parameters of some ships based on testing results. The changes will be applied to Italian battleships, German destroyers, and Austin. So, German destroyers, these are the, I know the Tier 8 and the Tier 9 are the new German DD split destroyers, and these destroyers have like God tier AP and insane accuracy. They're basically small light cruisers. But anyways, go ahead and get on into these. So, Z31, the Tier 7, Gustav Julius Maker, the Tier 8. Torpedoes replaced with one similar to the base torpedoes of T-22. Torpedo range reduced from 8 to 7 kilometers, so torpedo speed reduced from 65 to 61 knots. And destroyer Felix Schultz, which is the Tier 9. Torpedoes replaced with one similar to the base torpedoes of Gade. Torpedo range reduced from 8 to 7.5 kilometers. Torpedo speed reduced from 65 to 62 knots. So, quite a bit of a nerf there, especially to the Tier 7 to the Tier 8 German DDs in terms of torpedo armament. Not a huge change, but you know, 1 less kilometer and 4 less knots. It's still a nerf. And some people are really up in arms about this, but that's not really the focus of the ships. The ships are supposed to have, again, God tier AP, and go check out the first video I did on the new German destroyers. Their AP is quite crazy, and their dispersion on that AP is quite insane. It's literally, I believe, in the neighborhood of like 55 meters is the maximum dispersion. So these DDs are going to have some pinpoint accurate guns that are going to slap the ever-living crap of whatever they hit, especially if it is another destroyer or light cruiser, heck, even some heavy cruisers too. So it is a nerf, but we will see where it goes from here. And these DDs are supposed to be more gun-focused than torpedo-focused, and it's not like the German DDs have the strongest torpedoes to begin with either, so of course I can see why this would upset quite some people, but we will see where those go from here. Alright, big news. Austin, the angle at which the check for ricochet is made for sap shells has been increased from 60 to 65 degrees, so a straight up buff there to the Austin. If you don't know what the Austin is, imagine a Atlanta at tier 10 and then give it sap and unlimited main battery reload booster. That's something that we missed here on the channel. So yeah, Austin with, I believe, the optimum build now can get its reload down to like 2 seconds, like 1.5 seconds. I haven't had the new numbers crunched just yet, but it is insanely fast when the main battery reload booster is active. Now, when main battery reload booster is not active, it actually has quite a slow reload time. But again, when main battery reload booster, which is a special one too, most main battery reload boosters cut the reload time down by 75%. Austin has I believe it is a 7-second reload time, and then, you know, a 75% boost to that with the consumable active. It knocks it down to like 1 or 2 seconds. Like, I think it's like 1.5. But yeah, that is pretty darn nutty there. And then they go ahead and increase the sap pin angles. So yeah, this is gonna be a freaking mental ship. I'm not quite sure when the ship is coming out. It apparently is still going to be in testing in 10.1, or at least for a good chunk of 10.1. So yeah. All right, Italian battleships. Some pretty big nerfs here. So the Tier 7, the Francesco Caracciolo, I think that's how you say that. Main battery reload time increased from 30 to 33 seconds. Like, ow, that hurts. But there's more. Vittorio Veneto, Main battery reload time increased from 33 to 34 seconds. So not a big change there, but a 34-second reload time on 9 15-inch guns. Lepanto, the Tier 9. Main battery reload time increased from 35 to 37 seconds. So, yeah. Now, the Italian battleships are going to have SAP as well. And it is battleship caliber SAP. So, it's going to hurt like crap. And I can understand why they're increasing the reload time, because these ships already have garbage dispersion. Now, of course, it's Deadeye, but again, who knows where Deadeye is going to be at by the time these ships get released. You can improve that quite a bit now, but their dispersion is already so bad that they can't really nerf that aspect anymore without just making the ships pure garbage. So they're getting to the point to now where they have to increase the reload time, it seems. From what I've seen, from what I've experienced from running into these battleships and testing, yeah, the SAP's pretty darn powerful. I mean, if you played a lot of Season 9 of Clan Wars, you know the power of SAP, because there were Venezias absolutely everywhere. And Venezia was like chunking ships for like 20k a salvo. Now, of course, they can't start fires, so there is that downside to it. But SAP is pretty much like cracked out HE that can't start fires. You're doing like AP levels of damage, but able to pin stuff and not overpin like AP does. So if something's like lightly armored, you are going to absolutely wreck it, because you won't overpin it. You'll pin it, do a ton of damage, and then just carry on about your day. Like light cruisers are going to hate these ships when they come out. And DDs, I think the last I heard, the DDs do only take a 10% maximum damage from the SAP shells. Last I heard, originally they took full damage from SAP shells, which would, of course, absolutely just annihilate any DD. So they toned it down to 10%, to where it still hurts, of course, but it's not like being shot with a Venezia salvos. So, yeah, some nerfs there to the Italian battleships. We are getting closer to, of course, the Italian battleship event, so we all will be able to get our hands on these Italian BBs quite soon. All right, next DevBlog released today is Rank Battles. So, the second run of Rank Battles, they made a couple of changes here. Nothing too major. So, this is running from February 17th through May 12th. Well, let me just read you word from word real quick. So, from February 7th to May 12th, the second season of Rank Battles will be held. Format 7v7, Tier 8 to 9 in the Bronze League, Tier 9 to 10 in the Silver League, and Tier 10 in the Gold League. Main changes in comparison with the first, in parentheses, test season. The duration of the season and the amount of earnable steel and doubloons were doubled. That's nice. The number of stars required to rank 1 and qualify was, on average, multiplied by 1.5. Now it will be easier to see the remaining time until the beginning of next sprint. It will be displayed on the tooltip over the next league. We'll share detailed information about planned changes and improvement for future seasons once we are ready to. Again, please note that information in the development blog is preliminary. Announced adjustments and features may change multiple times during testing. The final information will be published on our game's website. So something that really confused me is why in the world, like in Silver League, last go round, when you have the option of playing a Tier 10 ship, would you take a Tier 9, unless it's something like the Polo Emilio or like Missouri just for the radar, a ship that has, some type of gimmick that might be useful there. And now, in Bronze, you can take Tier 9 ships. So, like last time, I used a lot of Massachusetts in Bronze. It's a good ship, but when I have the option of taking a Tier 9, like, say, Palmern, because Bronze seemed to be a lot of close-in fighting, why in the world would I take Massachusetts? And it is quite clear that they just include the other tiers because, one, they want more people to play, but two, they want to include CVs in this as well. Like in Silver League, what's the point of having a Tier 9 ship when you can take a Tier 10? Like, a lot of the Tier 9 tech line ships are really, really, really not great. Like, Izumo's better than it used to be, but it's not that great in comparison to the Yami. FDG is decent, but again, in comparison to the GK, if you want a good brawler, just take GK instead of FDG. Same with the I-1 and the Montana. Why take the I when you can take the Montana? You get a whole nother turret and and more armor and more health as well. And like the cruisers, like why in the world would I take a Rune instead of a Hindenburg? Like it just doesn't. Besides, of course, them wanting to fit CVs at every single rank to where no one rank can escape CVs. It doesn't make any sense outside of that. But I do think adding in the tooltip where it shows you the time left in the sprint is very nice, because there were some times too when I was trying to play that I didn't really know when the next sprint was, when the current sprint was ending and when the next sprint was beginning, because like during the week I have a very hectic schedule. So knowing when and how long I have will give me a better idea of, when I need to play and stuff, or if I can even get enough time in to get to the next league. So I do like that change there overall. And of course, the more steel and more doubloons you can earn being doubled, that is, of course, very, very, very nice. But and the number of stars required to reach rank 1 and qualify was multiplied by 1.5. I mean, you already had to grind quite a bit to get to rank 1, and now they're just increasing the grind even more. Guess they really want you to work for them rewards. So that's all we have today from the DevBlog. I'm sure some more information will come out on Thursday, hopefully regarding some of the commander skills. Of course, Deadeye, I still think that needs to be worked on quite a bit. And I was hoping that these DevBlog announcements would be changes to commander skills, but they're not. Maybe they'll release that on Thursday like they usually do with the normal DevBlog release schedule. But anyway, I guess we will have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way now to 25,000 subs. We just passed 22,400 not that long ago, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.